Welcome back. This is Unrendered on IKTV. I'm Tony Regisford, and it's Energy Week in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And addressing this issue is Dr. Stoddard, Donnie Myers, and Gerald Thompson. Donnie, when we went on the break, you were talking about VINLEC's role in the whole area of efficient use, and also what you're doing about the renewable sources.
Yes. Yes, Tony, I was making the point that on the area of sustainability, we're talking cost, reliability, security, and of course that the energy comes from a source that is renewable, that renews itself.
Yes.
And we as a company recognize our responsibility, have to address all three areas. In the area from a company, what have we been doing? Our concentration has been on wind and solar PVs. That's solar photovoltaic.
Yes.
Over the last 4.5 years, we have been investigating wind in an area in St. Vincent called Mibishi. That's to the just where the solid waste management site is, overlooking the solid waste management site. And our analysis have come up with the possibility of installing anything between 3 and 5 megawatts of wind in that location. The wind regime is quite good. To be precise, is excellent. And we have been analyzing two approaches. One is where we can have a private investor, and the government's energy policy facilitates that, a private investor coming into the country and investing in wind, and of course we as a utility would buy it and then distribute it.
Yeah.
And secondly, the option we've been looking at is a joint venture, and of course not forgetting the third option I should also mention, of VINLEC doing it alone. Clearly our first effort, which was to get a private investor, didn't really bear fruit. We tried also trying to get a partnership with a private investor. That we haven't been successful with that either. And I think we are now moving towards, we have now demanded to move towards VINLEC taking on this project and executing it. That's one area where we've been saying, let's bring a great amount of renewable energy into our mix.
Yes.
Mind you, it's important to mention that along with Dominica, we are two of the islands in the Caribbean which really at this point in time utilize a significant amount of
hydro,
of renewable resource which comes from hydro.
Right.
Currently about 20% of our energy comes from our hydro plants.
Yes.
So we have been adjusting
with the seasonal variations.
Yeah, here we are talking about overall, yes.
Yes.
In this year we are just, at this point we're about 21% this year.
Okay.
So that's what we've been doing in the area of wind. In the area of photovoltaics, as a company, we have installed on one of our office buildings a 10 kilowatt PV system that's supplying just about 10% of the energy that we use in that building. We've also supported the technical college. They have a PV system, and
so these are like pilots.
Well, the technical college one, really, you can call it a pilot. They started initially. We have installed one with two objectives in mind. One is to reduce our own energy consumption.
Right.
And by reducing our own energy consumption from the network, we have also introduced renewable energy. So in other words, every kilowatt hour we produce with that PV system, it reduces the nation's energy import bill. Right. In this case, fuel import bill. We've used it for our own investigative purposes, but at the same time, it is providing energy to us. We are about moving towards the installation of a 45 kilowatt PV system.
Right.
And again, we're thinking of putting it also on one of our buildings, or in a very prominent location where we can essentially sit with customers. This is what you can do. This is what we are doing.
So tell me, when are you going to have a significant source of renewable or alternative energy that feeds into the grid, the national grid?
Well, I should mention right now we have hydro, which is about 20%.
Yes.
In addition to that, there are really, I say, two alternatives in St. Vincent at the moment. One is wind, and the second is geothermal. In terms of wind, we're moving ahead, and we're hoping that by next year we will sign a contract with a wind manufacturer.
Yes.
And we think that once we sign a contract in 2012, we can have wind integrated into the network sometime in in 2013.
Good.
In terms of geothermal, clearly the government has been making significant effort in getting an investor. We are not the ones taking the lead in this regard. We are supporting the initiatives of the government and working along with any investor who may come to the fold and who generally has an interest in the development of geothermal. But clearly we recognize that geothermal in St. Vincent probably has the greatest potential to address the issue of reliability, cost, and sustainability.
But it probably has the highest price tag to develop as well. I'm going to get to Dr. Thompson about that. But before I do that, Dr. Stoddard, on the business of financing, because none of this happens without research and development, and the money has to come from somewhere, and the region has similar demands, and I guess that's why you exist in your job. What are the sources of financing for countries to help them to develop these sustainable forms of energy?
Okay, I need to, Tony, address a few things that Tony said a while ago.
By all means, go ahead.
First of all, there must be a drive to encourage what we call independent power producers, persons with the resources to come in and exploit these resources. And to do that, it has to go down, it has to be an issue of policy. We understand that the government has an energy policy. Of course, that energy policy must speak to sustainability, environmental sustainability. And once it speaks to things like how do we drill, what are the issues of disposal of waste, hot water disposal in terms of geothermal energy. We now have to make sure that when private producers generate electricity, there is a system of rewarding them for their investment. Now in the Caribbean, there's a debate going on. I'm not too sure if you have discussed this here, but there's a debate going on in the Caribbean, many countries, and in terms of the rates and the tariff that we pay these private developers. So first of all, there's what you call net metering. And net metering is where you have a meter that turns two ways, backward and forward.
Right.
When you have met your total, your installed total, and you have satisfied what you need, it spins backward and the rest goes back to the grid. And because of that system, people are saying that we do not get a fair rate. And so what they have been proposing is what we call net billing, where you have a tariff rate being set, and the energy is developed and goes to the system, and that a rate is set, and that too is in some forum that is debatable. So that's an issue of policy. Now, unless we get those issues clarified, and unless the law specify that independent power producers can produce at a rate that is equitable, nobody is going to come to do a geothermal plant in St. Vincent or establish a wind farm in St. Vincent. Those things must be addressed by policy. I am going to say that one of the avenues for funding of renewable energy projects is through what we call the Clean Development Mechanism. This mechanism was established out of the Kyoto Protocol, and it rewards a country for investment in renewable energy projects.
Is it a sort of green concept as well?
Well, of course, everything goes together in that basket called greening. So it's, yes, part of the green concept. But what that does is, if you're going to build a power plant using fossil fuel, and you decide not to build a power plant, but to invest into a wind farm, the difference between the investment in the wind farm and what you would build the wind farm, they can put in a certain amount of money.
So they're actively encouraging other sources of energy.
Yes, of course. You also gain credit on the world market, and credit comes at a cost. So you have investment monies there. You can also have private developers in other countries. But as I said to you, before you can attract these private developers, you must make sure that the laws are in place to encourage them and to reward them for their effort.
Yes.
And that's why I mentioned about net billing and net metering. Unless you're sure that these people are happy with the rate that you're going to pay them for the energy generated, they're not going to come to
Let me bring in Dr. Thompson here, because Dr. Thompson, when I see this at the end of this section, so let me ask the question. When we come back, we pick it up. What are the government policies in relation to encouraging people to invest in the generation of sustainable sources of energy? Let's answer that question when we come back. This is Unrendered, and when we come back, we'll be into our final segment on this program.